Hello, my name is Clive Harris and I'm a Senior Solutions Advisor at Rocket Software. Today I'll be talking about filtering and viewing your application trace facility data using OMEGAMON for IMS.
Having created an application trace and activated it, we can now view the trace results to see what data was collected. First, we will set a filter on the trace data by using option C. By default, you will see the last 5 minutes of activity today, but our PSB ran yesterday, so we need to change the filtering and also specify the PSB name. In addition, the results are always displayed by transaction, but we're going to change that and display them by PSB. And then hit PF3 to return. Now we can go and look at the output from the trace. We select option B from the application history menu to view the summary by group panel. We can now zoom in on the PSB by moving the cursor over the PSB name and hitting PF11 to zoom in on that PSB. Here we can see the summary panel, which shows that the PSB was scheduled twice in the time span we selected. So let's have a look at more detail of one of those schedulings. Again, we hit PF11 to zoom in, and we get the application trace overview panel. This gives us more detailed information about the scheduling, about the program, the number of calls, activity inside DB2 or MQ, elapsed, and CPU times. And we can PFK down to see more information about what DLI calls were issued, which databases were touched during that application. To see more specific information about the activity against the database, we move the cursor over the database name and we hit PF11. And again, we get even more detail of the calls that were made to this particular database listed underneath. And we can use PF7 and 8 to move through those calls and hit PF3 to return. And if we now go down to PF8 and place the cursor over the insert call, we can again zoom in on this specific call and zoom again with PF11. And here we can see the DLI call, the database it was made against, the status code returned, the elapsed and CPU time, the I/O areas, and the key feedback area. And then PFK3 back and back. We're now going to have a look at a replace call, so move the cursor down to the replace and find that call. And here we see the replace call with the I/O area, the call made, elapsed and CPU time, and the key feedback area. And here we have a call where we received a GE status code, so we can zoom in on that GE status code, and we can see the segment search area that was issued for that call. And in this case, that particular segment key record did not exist. We can now PF3 back through the screens. If we want to change the filtering, we can go back to the filtering screen with option C. In this case, we're going to PF key down to the bottom and change to show by transaction. And again, we use option B to view the results. And here we see the data presented again, and we can then zoom in using option 11. And we should see the same information that we saw before. We can use PFK3 to return back through the screens to the application history menu.
Thank you for watching.